It is done.
This is the story of the Angel of Death, the epic conclusion to Reaper of Souls. After successfully riding the battering ram into the Pandemonium Fortress's main doorway, we follow Tyrael through its shattered maw and into the foreboding fortress. Once inside, we see a dimly lit cavernous area. Down a long stone walkway to the north, Tyrael stands surveying the area, saying,
Pandemonium Fortress.
Familiar with the fortress, we ask him for clarity, but he admits.
When I fought Malthael, my sword passed through him like air. He is in a state of death and life, impervious to physical harm. Your strength is not enough. To defeat him, you must channel the power of death as he does.
There are many spirits below. Perhaps they can help.
The power of the dead. If you could become one with it, you would be as Malthael is, and you could face him. But you must find a way, quickly. Every moment, thousands die, and Malthael's power grows beyond anything I have ever seen.
Then we must move quickly to acquire this power of death. But what of the fortress?
The fortress feels strange and new to me, though I have come here times beyond count as its champion and as its liberator. It changes to match the nature of whoever controls it, but I have never seen it like this while under the control of an angel.
Malthael is like no other angel.
Whatever soul-sapping surge of power the fortress draws, we know our path lies below. Heading down the stairs south and east, we arrive at the bottom and see a visage of our old master. No, it can't be.
A crusader comes to us.
That spirit, so familiar.
This must be one of Malthael's deceptions. As we search the barren platform and its strange machines, and again we see our master and call out,
Master, is that you? But I saw you die all those years ago.
I have watched you, Crusader. You have done more than any other and honored the name we both bear.
Master, I have tried only to live as you taught me.
And you have, but the work of the Crusade waits for you.
I must find a way to defeat Malthael, or even the Crusade will fail.
Many Crusaders are imprisoned deep within the fortress. We have only the strength to open a path for you. Free us, and the spirit of every Crusader who has ever died will lend you strength.
We will need every ounce of strength we can get. We talk to our old master of his memories while we still have him with us, and he remembers.
I remember when I found you in that village in the east, a snot-nosed boy of 12.
Is this really necessary? I've the Angel of Death to fight, and the Crusade to carry on.
You swore the oath, and you meant it. But how you cried that first night. And the next.
I never.
When you were still sniveling after a week, I thought about taking you back to your village. But even then, I saw it in you. You would be the greatest of us.
Of course, he reminisces about a 12-year-old's tears instead of these spirits we're dealing with.
The living cannot touch Malthael, because he is an aspect of death. But we who are dead can give you the power to harm him. I trust you will know what to do when you have that power.
Oh yes, Malthael will fall.
What happens to death when we kill its angel?
Death is a necessary part of life. If I kill Malthael...
Malthael is the aspect of death. He feeds off death and is attuned to it, but he is not necessary to it. There was death before Malthael, and there will be death after.
Good.
Still, you must understand, it is no small matter to kill the Angel of Death. You will change everything.
With Malthael not needed for the cycle, we feel a renewed sense of vigor about our task. To the west we find Malthael has destroyed most of the pathways, and the fortress seems to defy gravity itself, much of it being floating. Yet when we head east towards a glowing death gate, Malthael's voice echoes in our mind, taunting our efforts as if our labors are for naught.
Nephilim. The Black Soul Stone journeys through the portal to Sanctuary. Even now it spreads death across your world. And so ends the eternal conflict.
With Malthael unleashing the Black Soul Stone on Sanctuary's populace, it's clear our time is running out. We delve deep into the depths of the belly of the fortress, and on its second level, we find an infernal device funneling souls of Westmarchers departed below into whatever sickly siphon Malthael has created. Heading down the stairs, we're not surprised to see the contraption that will aid us in harming Malthael is guarded by Saraziel. Saraziel is the last Death Maiden found in game. She has Electrified, Thunderstorm, Fast, and Vortex affixes. In addition, if she's not killed in 30 seconds, she will briefly shield herself and summon winged assassins at her side. Felling Saraziel allows us to break the soul prison seals, and upon doing so, we immediately gain the power of the dead to defeat Malthael. The machine crumbles without its macabre fuel, and the souls of the dead flood into us, and it's then we see Crusaders, granting us the ability to speak to our master one final time.
You saw me die. You took up my shield and my name. The life and death of every Crusader to bear your name resides in you. Death is a part of who you are. Take its power.
I will, for now. But I will not become Death incarnate. When this is done, I will release this power.
Our watch ends, brother. The crusade rests with you now.
We then ask our master, we must know, what of these spirits?
These are the spirits of every crusader who ever bore your name. Each did the name honor. Each carried on the crusade. Each trained the next. You have made us all proud, but we wonder, where is your apprentice?
Yes, well, I will get an apprentice. It's just hard. The world keeps plunging into darkness, and I've so little time.
If you fall, the name will fall.
I promise.
We also pause and say, Master, about the life you gave us.
Master, I never told you.
Oh, don't go soft on me now, boy.
Never. But this needs to be said. I'd have grown old and died in that village where you found me. You gave me a life of worth.
A pretty miserable one.
True, but a life full of wonders as well. You gave me a cause to believe in, and for that, I can never repay you.
Repay me by killing Malthael and returning to the crusade.
And finally, curiosity gets the better of us, and we query what death is about.
What is death like?
It is the coldest night on the plains, with a warm fire near your feet.
Is death the cold night, or the fire?
Death is everything. You will feel it one day, and you will realize you have known it all along.
You make as little sense now as you did when you were alive.
Of course, our old master leaves us with a conundrum about death. Yet, we will join their ranks if we do not stop Malthael post-haste. With the power of the dead coursing through us, we head to the northeast arm of the platform and into the heart of the fortress. Inside the fortress, we see at the end of a long, twisted, floating walkway, there is an orb of souls. This must be where the Worldstone Chamber once sat, now powered by a far more nefarious engine of death. The souls comet into its side as it grows ever larger, and we enter the final portal into the very heart of the fortress. Inside, Malthael awaits our arrival.
The Soul Stone is a born sanctuary. The blood of demons will soon be gone from all creation. You will be the last of your kind for a few moments. Death comes, Nephilim.
Malthael then opens his attack, and the following abilities are used during the whole fight. Charge Attack, which is a charge that causes significant knockback. Drain Soul, which is a whirling ring around Malthael. And Death Shrouds, where Malthael will summon clouds of mist that move slowly on the floor and cause cold damage.
Death is beyond your reach.
Soul Nova is an additional ability where, from time to time, Malthael flies up and lands in the center of the platform. From there, he releases a swarm of glowing blobs, each moving in a straight line towards the platform's edge. On hit, causes a chilling debuff.
It is inevitable. There is no other way.
The second phase of the fight, Malthael will periodically summon 2 exorcists. The damage they cause can be significant, especially with their teleporting. He will also use the ability Skull Spiral, where he will periodically summon a group of souls at the edge of the arena.
Your world dies. There is nothing to save.
Once Malthael's health is low enough, somewhere below 50%, all remaining exorcists die, and in a cutscene, he does the unthinkable, shattering the Black Soul Stone and absorbing it into his body. This starts the final stage of the battle.
You are imbued with the power of death. But that will not save you.
Malthael, now in the third and final phase of the battle, is empowered by the greater and lesser evils of hell, becoming more powerful than ever. His Skull Spiral and summoning abilities are now replaced with Soul Sweep, and Death Shroud will be used again.
In the end, all bow to death.
Soul Sweep is an ability where Malthael will, from time to time, fly into the air and land in the center of the platform. From there, he releases a group of 5 red waves of flame, each creating a stream of fire damaging everything on one side of it, almost reminiscent of Diablo's hose lightning.
You are out of time, Nephilim.
Nearly overwhelmed by Malthael's onslaught of power, the plumes of soul sucking down her energy, he gives a final taunt.
Death consumes all.
Ironically, it's then we hit him with our falling sword, and he begins to sway and shake manically. The evil's power left his body, and the souls raise him off the ground, dispersing at once until he explodes in a supernova of souls and death. Until Malthael is no more. Looting Malthael's corpse, we see that Tyrael has wandered into the arena. Unfortunately, the loot is not much to speak of, outside of some Reaper wraps, but we didn't come here for loot. This is the end of our arduous journey, and Tyrael has but one question remaining.
Where is the Black Soul Stone?
Malthael consumed it and took Diablo's soul.
Then Malthael's death will have released Diablo. He is free. Nephilim had done the impossible. By conquering death, he had redeemed the angels and saved all mankind. In that moment, with victory at hand, I saw the Nephilim in a new light. He is a hero who can defeat the champions of heaven and hell, and a crusader who protects the innocent. But within him beats a mortal heart that will one day be tempted to corruption. On that day, will he have the strength to resist, or will he